Yo, I swear this guy's always here, man.
Who does he think he is?
Bro, legend says he hasn't been beaten in 80 games.
No way.
Fam, he's untouchable, bro.
This guy. I beat this guy last week, man. Don't listen to him. Let's go. In this guy.
Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. 2 games on.
All right, welcome back. Next episode, I'm with someone who doesn't really need an introduction, but for the sake of the show, please introduce yourself. Tell me who you are and what your mission is.
My name is Sharky. I'm a content creator. I make videos. Recently started dabbling in making clothes as well. And I love sports, especially paddle and football and tennis. But paddle right now is my favorite sport. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
So thank you for having me.
Right now. Well, first I want to tell people why I brought you on.
Yeah.
I think people have seen a side to you that you show online, that you showcase online, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from the few interactions we've had and from the mutual friends we have, I know there's actually layers to you that people don't see. Like, you're actually very intelligent, very creative, and maybe you don't get a chance to showcase that in the content that you're making right now. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to bring you on. And
Thank you.
where I want to start is actually something you said on a recent podcast you did, I think about 12 months ago, about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
This is something we all face.
That old friend.
It's something we all face.
Yeah.
And the reason why you said you faced it is because you skipped steps. Like, you went straight to the mansion, and then that resulted in like backward progress.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think, first of all, that happened? And 2, how did you kind of get yourself out of it for people that are facing that right now?
Yeah.
And sorry, also, what is imposter syndrome for people who don't know?
Well, I mean, the actual definition of imposter syndrome, I don't know exactly how it will be defined in a Google dictionary or whatever, but to me what imposter syndrome is feeling like you're in a position where you don't feel like you deserve to be, and one day you're going to get outed, or you're always running away because you're like, one day everyone's going to find out that I shouldn't be here. That's what it was to me. And I feel like, so obviously people can face it in different ways, right? Obviously, mostly happens to people who are in a position where, I don't know, of influence or a position of, I don't know, they get something that they've always wanted, but maybe they feel like they're not prepared for it, or they're underprepared, or they get flung into the limelight maybe, or even it can happen in their job. They might get promotion and they feel like, damn, like maybe everyone thinks I'm better than I actually am, right? So for me, it happened in a way, like you said, I feel like I did skip some steps. Usually it's like the end goal, it's like, just naturally, you're like, oh, cool, yeah, you live in a small house, you move up, get a big house, big house, big house. Me, I went backwards. It's like, I love my place now. I live in a nice small flat, 2-bedroom flat. But 5 years ago, I was living in a mansion with a swimming pool and a gym and a cinema. Like, it's crazy. So I've done everything like in a weird way. And I think that's why it kind of hit me there, because I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there just yet. I felt like I was there a few years too early. Even though I was grateful, like, this is amazing, I'm living with my friends. It just hit me hard. And also, it didn't help as well that I was surrounded by, at that time, it wasn't like of a jealousy thing, because they're some of my best friends, right? And it was amazing. But at that time, they were thriving so much and I was lacking a little bit behind. And I was like, oh, am I being carried here? Should I even be here? And those thoughts kind of start spiraling.
Of course.
And it didn't help.
It
didn't help.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
What do you think about, it's somewhat related, but like, fake it till you make it?
I strongly believe in fake it till you make it now, you know? Now I believe it. Before I was like, the thing is, obviously there's got to be an element to, like, I'm not saying fake it till you make it and like completely. There's got to be an element to obviously being good at what you do, right?
Like in your mind, fake it till you make it.
Yeah, in your mind, I think maybe more like present yourself as, if you present yourself as more confident than you are long enough, I think you maybe actually will become that person.
Yeah, I think so.
You know? It's kind of like that Superman complex, I think, when you stand in a room with your chest out for a bit long, your confidence comes up. So yeah, I believe in it a little bit, but of course at the same time, I think the most important thing is actually being good at what you're presenting to be good at.
Yeah, that's what, there's a guy called Ryan Holiday.
Yeah.
So he
Great
said
stoic.
that, build build a stack of evidence, basically, rather than belief in yourself, because then you can always look back at the stuff you've done to prove to yourself you are who you say you are. So, yeah, and that's interesting you said that. It's about self-image, basically, how you see yourself. And there's a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. I don't know if you've heard of it, but he's a plastic surgeon. And the people he works on, even after they had the transformation, they still don't feel like the person they look like, because it's all internal, basically. So, yeah, I mean, that's interesting that you brought that up. And related, actually, I don't know what you think about this, but I made a post recently that said, like, identity is always behind your actions in real life. So, like, you're always further behind in your head than you are in real life.
Yeah, wow. That's true. I mean, that's a good point. It's true, because in your head, it's a whole different thing. And I feel like, for me, everything starts in my head, and as it is for everyone, right? And for me, it's like the most important thing is, do I feel like I'm doing well?
Yeah.
So I won't ever be fully happy unless I feel like in my head I'm doing well.
Yeah.
No matter how many times people could tell me, yo, you're smashing it.
Yeah.
I know in my head I'm a bit behind, or in my head sometimes I'm maybe even ahead.
Yeah.
Right? Because I sometimes say to people, especially like, okay, my podcast, for example, and always figuring out ways to maybe improve it and stuff, or I can feel like the content's maybe getting stale. I always feel like I'm 2 months ahead of everyone else online. So I'm like, if I come back this now, people, or if I don't do nothing by now, what I'm seeing now, people will see it in 2 months' time. So I don't know. It's very interesting.
Do you look at like audience reaction more so than as an indicator, or more so than how you feel about something when you put it out, just creatively in general?
It's a combination of both.
Yeah.
If you lean too much to one side, you're not going to do well. If you lean too much to thinking about the audience reaction, you're going to start doing things that aren't you, because you're going to start doing things for
100%.
them, which isn't you.
And you get trapped.
Exactly, you get trapped. But also at the same time, if you go too much on yourself and you start doing things that people aren't even interested in at all, because you're like, I love this, then upload it privately and have one view and you watch it yourself because you love it. But at the same time, you want the mass to enjoy it. So you do have to kind of be in that kind of middle zone, because too far in either way, I think, is not going to work. So you have to kind of, there's a thing we call in like the editing process, it's called kill your darlings, right? So you have like so much footage, and sometimes it's like, you really love this clip. Yeah. But you got to kill it, you got to cut it out sometimes. Some people call it a savage edit, a savage cut. You cut it even further down. It's like, so it's kind of like that with your content. It's kind of like that with your ideas. Sometimes you got to kill your darlings. Sometimes you're like, this is a really good idea, I like it, but it's got to go, it's not going to work. Sometimes I need to just shorten it for retention purposes.
I love that. I've never actually heard that.
Yeah, man, it's that balance. I think it's important.
Yeah, everything's a balancing act.
100%. 100%.
And actually, you were one of another reason I wanted to do this is you were one of the first people that gave me feedback on my YouTube videos, which have now been taken down. Sorry, I made you even sit through that, bro.
No, that's amazing. That's the process.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it's the process.
It's the process.
Yeah, it's true. I remember the feedback you gave me. It was like, there's a lot of information, it's packaged very well, but maybe look at making it more fast-paced, which was a nice way of saying like, bro, this is like, it was so slow, it's terrible. But yeah, I appreciate that as well. Like, now I've learned a lot about creating in general. I went from being in business, switching into being in content, and I think you did it the other way, which we can get onto. So like, from there, I actually wanted to ask, in terms of the creative eye, you have a creative eye, you've been doing it for years. Do you think that's something you can teach? We have this conversation, me and my team, all the time.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I love that conversation.
It's so hard to like transfer your vision to someone or to show them something. You know what I mean?
It's the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It is hard, because sometimes I'm sure you get the same thing. I'm sure everyone here's, they're here because obviously they're super creative. I've been watching them set everything up and talking. It's amazing. Yeah. I feel like everyone here has that time when they're like, I wish there was 3 of me. Yeah. Like, I wish I had a team with like 3 or 4 of me, because then it's like, I feel like I'd be the best, I have the best team in the world. Yeah. It's so hard to, like you said, but then also there's elements of that where it's like, if you're a good communicator and everything, you can get it across. But I feel like some things just come.
It's like nuances.
Like some things can't be taught. Yeah. But also a lot can be learnt as well. A lot can be learnt. Right?
So how do you scale then if you want to keep something that's quality? So for example, this production, I'm lucky enough to have good people on the team. Yeah. But we want to scale, obviously, like do 2, 3 a month. Yeah. How are we gonna find people that are on the same?
I'm in the same problem now. I'm literally. I had a conversation about this yesterday. Damn. Yeah, I'm in the same, and it's the same thing. It's I feel like what works for me is find people first that have that hunger, that take initiative,
Yeah.
all of that. I would rather find someone to work with that has the foundations.
Yeah.
I can teach them how to, understand content or understand the business. That can be learned.
Yeah.
If you work long enough, and if 6 months of working alongside me and my team, or a year working, you'll understand the things that can be taught.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, this is how videos are meant to be. This is how cool, you look at thumbnails, that's how thumbnails be typed, like that. You can learn that.
Yeah.
But if you go the other way around, you can't learn how to,
Competence.
competence. You can't learn that. You can't learn how to take initiative.
Right.
Like my number one pet peeve of working with people is people only doing things when I tell them to do it.
Yeah, they need initiative.
I like initiative. I don't like people that wait around for me to tell them to do something.
Yeah,
Can you do this? No, I want like on a day off. You gotta be obsessed with it. On a day off, you have a day off, but I still want you to be watching content with a creative eye. Even like you can't switch off.
Everything is work.
Everything is like and not everyone has that, and that's fine, but it's just not gonna work to scale or to grow or to have the best content. I feel like it's just in you or it's not, but there's a lot of things that also can be learned. I do believe things can be learned if you actually put your mind to it, but there's a couple things that just can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Good point. No, I agree. Competence is like the number one foundational skill that everyone should focus on, because that's the thing that's in short supply in business, in content, in anything, bro. So yeah, it's a good point. Not turning off as a creator as well. I think that's like, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, that's just impossible.
You can't, like, because your inspiration is everywhere. I'm sure right now there's things running through your mind like, oh, I could use this for
there's many things I've seen just being here today that's like running through my mind. Of course, it's just everything. Like I can watch a cartoon, and I might be like, that transition was really good in The Simpsons. Like I'm watching The Simpsons and I'm like, oh, I really love how they did that, or they kept my retention because the way they built the storyline is really, really good. Or like, okay, I'm watching, I don't know, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I like how they always have, they always have the same theme where in the videos they have the title on the screen and then it has that same intro music and this and that. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can add that to my videos, or I can watch in the film. It's like, it's impossible to switch off.
100%.
It's impossible, but it's a great thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing and a bad thing as well. Yeah,
it is a good thing and a bad thing. But I remember what I said once. I think I tweeted once. I said, because I've been doing this now for 9 years.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's like you're trapped, right? Because you're always thinking, you're always working. It's 4 a.m. in the morning, and I might have an idea, and my notes. I'll write in my notes because I don't want to forget it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm trapped in a mental prison.
Yeah.
Full of things I want and enjoy. So it's like I'm living a life sentence that I'm like happy to live. I'm serving a sentence I'm happy to serve. Because it's like, I'm trapped in a prison, but this prison's got everything I want in it. So I don't want to leave the prison.
You built it yourself.
So it's
the
like,
door's wide open as well, though.
Yeah, so I'm not complaining. It's like the best life sentence I'm serving ever. It's amazing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Where do you think creativity even comes from? And you can go as deep as you want. Pause.
I don't know.
With that.
Definitely pause. It can come from many places. I don't know if it's different for people. Like I feel like the entry point is different for so many people, because with me, I don't feel like I was born creative. I don't think I grew up creative. I don't think I was more playing sports. Like, back when we were growing up, everyone wanted to be a footballer. Now kids all want to be content creators and influencers and everything. So I wanted to be a footballer. I was playing football. I was doing all of that stuff. I didn't really care about being creative. I wasn't arty. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. Like, I just played sports. I was average student. I was everything. And then I think my entry point was, I just started watching videos, and my thing is I just like taking risks, so I just started it, right?
Same. Yeah.
But I have friends that grew up, so the other boys that I do the same job with, that I lived with and everything, they had a different entry point where they from kids wanted to be content creators, or they studied media in college, so everyone had a different entry point. So how you enter the world of creativity can come from here, but to get to the middle, I think it's like the journey is different. So mine was maybe more, I then became obsessed with it because I'm like, I'm obsessed with improvement. I'm obsessed with improvement, I'm obsessed with failure.
Yeah.
So there are two things that I'm just like, okay, cool. These are important for me to do well. So I came from that angle, more of the logic angle, more of the like researching angle, analytical angle. Other people just come from the fire in their belly,
Yeah,
the just the natural inspirations around them, the imitating the creators, other creators. So it doesn't matter, but to get to that middle, the journeys can be, it's like different maze entrances, but you can still get to that peak of creativity.
Yeah.
No matter what helps you get there.
Yeah, I agree. I think
So
I
it
think
doesn't. Yeah.
there's
There's no
different
one
avenues.
way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a believer that you have natural inclinations, that things that you're drawn to,
Sure.
and maybe there was something in your childhood that the seed was planted in you, like, but you're just not aware of it, that it was content or something to be in the public eye. I don't know.
Maybe it's weird because it's gonna sound so dumb, but I don't know why. But even from when I was a kid, I always had and when I was a kid, being a content creator wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. Like, it wasn't a
Yeah, it
thing,
wasn't a
right?
thing,
It
yeah.
wasn't a thing. But I always, from a kid, and maybe this affected my grades and everything. I was average student.
Same.
I didn't get any A stars and shit. But I didn't fail anything, right? I was average student.
Yeah.
But I was so laid back growing up because for some reason, always growing up inside me, something always told me I'm gonna do well in life.
100%.
I don't know. It sounds mad
No,
saying it. It
it's
sounds
not.
egotistical.
I think
I'm not that, but I'm saying I always, as a kid, I don't know why, I always had this confidence. And it wasn't like an outward confidence, 'cause I couldn't speak on stage. I
Yeah.
had stage fright. In
Yeah.
assembly, I couldn't go in front of people. I couldn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I had this like inner confidence. It was like, I'm gonna do well in life.
You just know, yeah.
I didn't know what it was gonna be. I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was gonna be a footballer, if it was gonna be a TV presenter. I didn't know whatever it was gonna be. I always had this, but I didn't know where it came from either.
Yeah.
So maybe.
I think, yeah, it's intuition that you just know you're gonna do something with your life.
Yeah.
Like, same with me, man. Like, I was average across the board, below average height. Like, bro, I didn't grow till I was 17, and then, like,
Happens, man.
in school, yeah, I wanted to be a footballer. Everyone did.
Of course.
But then, I now think about it. Did I actually want to be a footballer, or did I just want to have a platform to speak?
Yeah, true.
I
Good
don't know.
question.
New balls, please. Second set. Sharky to serve.
You're the oldest of 7.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, and being in a, I say Asian African household, because Asian household, African household, as the eldest sibling, did you not feel the pressure because you said you took on like the father role somewhat?
Yeah.
Did you not feel the pressure to like go out, get a job and so on? Like, I'm lucky enough that my brother went to uni, he got a corporate job, so I get a little bit more leeway to go and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Did you not feel that?
Yeah, of course you do. Being oldest of 7 children, having to be kind of the role model, lead the way. Also, having a single mother as well with the 7 children, I had to take on that kind of role of being the father figure as well. Yes, I did feel that pressure, 100%. But 2 things. One, like I said, I've always been someone who's just taken risks. All right, just bet on myself. And 2, I was lucky because circumstances allowed me to kind of do my own thing. The circumstances are, one, my mum is very young, so she's a bit more understanding. She's not old school. She had me at 16.
Wow.
That's how young she is.
Yeah.
And 2, she was going through a lot.
Yeah.
She was going through so much because, like I said, she had 7 children.
Yeah.
She had, by the time I'm 28, she had about 6 kids on my age, 5, 6 kids on my age. I don't even have 1. I can't even imagine having 2. So she was going through so much that I kind of, cause like I was already 17, 18, 19, she didn't to focus on me as much. She had to focus on everything that's going on with the council and the house and this and that and benefits, that I kind of was allowed to just go and explore and risk take. And she didn't put too much pressure on me because she couldn't. She had so many jobs at once. So all those circumstances allowed me to kind of lie to her, because I did sign up for uni.
Yeah.
I did go to uni, but I dropped out after a month.
I dropped out after a year. Yeah.
I dropped out after a month, but she thought I finished the year
Yeah.
because I was making videos. So I was telling her I was going to uni, but I was making videos.
Yeah.
And then luckily, obviously, it did well, and I never looked back. But I was lucky, but that was a huge risk I took as well, like lying to my mom and pretending to go to uni just to do content, just to,
Do you think in the moment it felt like a risk, or is it more so when you look back?
Yeah, I look back. In the moment, it didn't. In the moment, it's like, I'm having so much fun doing this. I wasn't making a penny. I didn't mind not making a penny. Like, it was 2015. There wasn't money in YouTube, unless you were upper class vlogger. It wasn't a thing. So it was like, I wasn't making any money. I was putting in like serious shifts, 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
Filming all day, editing all night, editing my own videos, everything. for no returns. Effectively, I didn't make my first penny till a year in. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have, nothing. It took me a year to get 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, the funny thing about a risk is like in a rearview mirror, when you're looking back, they actually look like opportunities.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it might have felt like a risk. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you need the hindsight, the foresight to know that when you look back, it's going to make sense.
100%. It's the most important thing.
On going back to like, creativity and ideas, I don't want to make it all about that, but like I said, you're a very creative person. Do you think ideas, one thing you said was that you if you get an idea, you act on it straight away. I'm the same, I execute it straight away. Do you think ideas have like a shelf life? That means like, if you don't act on it, someone else will do it, or it will just die.
Yes and no. I feel like if I think this big ideas, I feel like if they're meant to be, they'll be, if you could take your time on and everything. But I feel like there's certain ideas where I do like to act on it, because there's so much stuff that when I don't act on it, I leave it for a year, 2 years, and I don't go back and I look at my notes. I'm like, oh my God, 2 years ago I wanted to do this and someone's done it. You know. It depends on the idea, but I think the bigger the idea, I think maybe the longer the shelf life it has. But also, I do like to act on things quick. I don't know why, I'm just like that. I'm just more, we should do this. Like, I want to do a live show. Cool, let's book it. Like, I have nothing's planned.
You got next week?
I got a live show next week, and I'm exactly a week away from filming, and there's so much to do. I'm so far behind.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I agree. I think you do have a shelf life, definitely. But related to that is, how do you make sure, we have like 100 ideas a day. How do you make sure the ones that you act on are not deviating from your purpose, and you're actually changing avenues, and it's actually taking you further away from where you want to go?
Like trusting yourself, trusting your instincts. You got to where you are because you trusted yourself. So each decision you've made up until now has played an element in that, has played a part in that. So if I have 100 ideas, so I said earlier I was obsessed with failure. Even if it fails, I like that, because I'm like, this was meant to fail. I was meant to fail this, because now I can analyze that. Like I'm very analytical, so I'm like, I like failing because I feel like such an important part of it's such an important part of any process, and I feel like too many people reject failure. Because failure is it's a negative thing. There's positives and negatives in life. Like, it's a negative thing, but I feel like people need to approach failure in a different way, and that is look at it in a positive light. Make it a positive thing. This was good. I failed. It's amazing, because now I failed and I studied why I failed, and you break it apart, you won't fail again, and maybe even get even better now because you've improved something. You've opened everything up, you fixed it now, and now it's an even stronger thing than it was before. So trusting yourself is important with the ideas that you said. If it does well, amazing. If it does wrong, amazing, because you can work on that and make it better. So trusting yourself.
I love that, man. It's all perception.
It's all perception.
I think that most events are neutral, and then like the way you label them, if it's good or bad,
exactly that.
It's up to you.
Exactly that. I think
this is the Sharky that people need to see, bro. Like.
Yeah, well, I can't talk about this while I'm talking about Manchester United playing against Nottingham Forest on the weekend. I can't. But no, it's true. This is important, and I think perception is the most important thing. Like you said, that's my favorite thing. It's perception.
So, in your last things on creativity, but touching on like how you've managed to scale and whatnot. One quote I always reiterate to like my community and the people in my newsletter is, systems create consistency. So, how did you manage to build? Or how did you go about building the systems that have helped you like scale, helped you remain consistent across all your channels, across SDS, everything?
You're probably wondering how I was moving like that in the intro. Well, let me let you in on a little secret. I didn't use any VFX or CGI, but I did use something that Sharky doesn't know about. It's these tropical electrolytes from Sunna Supplements. This game had me sweating, so these came in clutch. 1,000 milligrams per pack, meaning my recovery is going to be quick and easy, so I can continue being king of the court. Sorry, Sharky. Sunna Supplements is non-GMO. It will improve your muscle maintenance, bone strength, and there's halal too. And the collagen. You can use this every day. Did you know that collagen makes up 25 to 35% of your body protein content? Which means if you use this, you're going to get better hair, skin, and nails. Just one scoop of this a day in your water or your coffee is going to give you thicker hair, glowing skin, and better sleep recovery. And they got a sale on right now. If you want to seriously start taking care of your health, click the link in the description below and shop now. And don't just take my word for it, look at the 50,000 plus reviews on the website. Let's get back to the episode.
I just feel like a lot of it is luck and being fortunate. I'm not gonna try and sell to people that you got to be this smart genius to build. You don't. You know, a lot of it is meeting the right people. You know, connecting with the right people, getting a good feeling from someone. Like my longest person that I've worked with as an employee is one of my best friends from school. You know, I just employed him. I said, "Yo, come work for me." Well, he's like, "I never edited in my life, or I've never held a camera in my life." I said, "Cool, I'll teach you."
That's it.
6 years later, he does everything for me.
I love that.
You know, so a lot of it is like, you know, trusting people and having intuition, and there's also the other stuff where, okay, cool, Beta Squad is the biggest thing I'm involved in. We have 10 million subscribers and everything. That's a lot more of a bigger business. So that is, we're hiring editors all the time, and I have like a less of a close relationship with those editors because there's so many of them, and it's a big business, and it's a big wheeled factory that's going on, and there's editors, and there's the head of production. That's all of that. So there's that side, but then there's other smaller stuff like SDS, which is more intimate to me, which is more of a passion project where it's a smaller team and it's more, you know, my best friend helps me run that. I just recently hired my little brother.
Wow.
You know, so it's like more of that, and it's like, I'll teach you how to do this. This is how I like it. And we'll have those conversations. So and then Primo is me and my cousin that do it, and then we currently work with like freelance designers, and if we get a good feeling on one, maybe we use them for more, and so everything's different. You know, Beta's got such a big thing, but then also there's my own channel which I work with. Maybe sometimes it's freelance, sometimes it's more. So it's all different things, but a lot of it is all like intuition. A lot of it is all good feeling. A lot of it is all trust.
I think you're big on intuition and trust.
I am.
That's what I'm getting.
I am big in that for sure.
Do you think sometimes you need to do what you're naturally good at in order to create a stepping stone to what you actually want to do? So, I use an example. With YouTube, you were naturally good at it. You were obsessed with it. Yeah, you like it as well, but that gave you a stepping stone to start your passion projects, SDS, Primo, and whatever else you're going to have upcoming.
It's funny. I don't think I'm naturally good at YouTube. I don't.
Oh, no. Maybe like more inclined to, it is like the stuff you're doing now is more of a passion project.
Yeah. So now, the SDS, the channel is doing the sports and the fashion. They're things I enjoy. But I feel like I needed to make content for 8-9 years to then now be able to do that for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm naturally good at it. That's maybe part of why I had an imposter. That's probably a small bit of imposter syndrome still in me saying that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think I'm not the loudest. I'm not the most entertaining. Like, you see the people I'm around all the time. It's hard to compete. You know, it's not. You don't have to be funny or loud just to be entertaining. You can be entertaining by being captivating, by talking well. That's also being entertained.
I mean, the numbers speak for itself, bro.
Yeah, of course. But I feel like I had to do all of that, and I still now. I grew to love it. I grew to become better at it, and I improved. And like I said, I love improvement. So obviously, when I'm on camera, this is more of a chill setting, so I'm more chill vibe. But also, if I'm around them, I know I have to be louder.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not being myself. I'm just maybe notching my levels up a bit more, a bit less. But doing that for so long and captivating an audience and growing an audience and having a bit of a pool on social media allows me to now do stuff that are more passion projects, that are more like things that will take a longer time maybe to succeed. Because, man, I mean, I feel like it's important now at this stage of my career to do things that I enjoy, because it's great. YouTube's in a great position. That's content's in a great position. But now I wanna make cool clothes. I wanna do stuff in fashion. I wanna work more in sport, like in football and tennis and paddle. So.
Final game, break point. Milan to serve.
Well, let's transition to that, man. Like, how much do you believe in speaking into existence and manifestation? Because your first job was at the Emirates.
Yeah,
and now
my
you're
only
on the
job.
wall. Yeah, your only job, and now you're on the wall there.
No, I'm on the wall.
Even like tennis, ATP, like you're working with them. These are like full circle moments and things I live for. But how?
I DM'd the ATP account like 2 years prior, and I was like, I would love to host or something, work with you. And then like almost exactly 2 years later.
Second host.
There you go. See, you never know. They're literally, it's so cool. Manifestation, It's an interesting one.
Yeah, like I would categorize it into like two. Like, obviously you're a Muslim, and manifestation kind of has like a bad rap like around spirituality and stuff, become a buzzword. But I believe manifestation, prayer, it's all one and the same
That's
thing.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like my version of manifestation is asking for things to my Lord, praying and stuff.
100%. Yeah.
I feel like it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you believe in, it's a similar thing.
Same
People
thing,
pray.
yeah.
So me praying for things, me asking for opportunities, me praying for this, that is manifestation to me.
Yeah.
That is my version of manifestation. I'm just doing it in my faith. So I think you said how important is that to
do you believe in speaking into existence?
100%, because for me I believe in praying, I believe in asking for things, and I believe in if it's meant for me, it will be.
Yeah.
Sometimes I ask for things and it doesn't happen, but then I go into the mode of it wasn't meant to be for me.
Yeah.
You know, God has something else better planned for me.
Yeah.
So I do believe in that a lot, for sure. It's just I do it in the form of prayer. So.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same, man. I think it's been like a cornerstone of not that I have any success yet, but anything I've done in the past, it's all come from,
No, you're doing
one
really well,
source.
man. Don't say that.
I'm feeling imposter syndrome.
No, don't be, bro. This is better production than what I use. So you're smashing it that way.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, I agree. How was it actually you visited the holy place?
Amazing. Yeah, twice. So I went for the first time last year.
Yeah.
In Mecca. Did Umrah there. First time was last year, and the second time was this year. Ramadan. It's amazing because also we go as like a group of brothers.
Yeah.
You know, so it's myself, my friend Mustafa, Chunks, Harry Panero. Like this year, M Hunter came with us, and Sheikh Wes was there last year and this year, and it's like Anwar Hadid was there with us this year. It's like, you know, and it's like, it's a beautiful thing because we're all from different fields. Some make music, some people are named music, some people, we make content, some people are models, but we're all going to this holy place, and when you're there, it's the most holiest place on the world.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what religion you are, everyone, like people describe things as the Mecca of, because Mecca now has become like a metaphor of
100%.
holy.
Yeah,
you know, people talk about Madison Square Garden, the Mecca of entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the holiest place in the world, and it's the purest place in the world, and it's the most beautiful thing. The first time I went was last year, and everyone knows the Kaaba, right? The black box, you see it, it's a symbol. When I first saw it, bro, I just cried. I don't know why.
Wow.
I just cried. It's such a beautiful feeling. There's a million people all in one place, and when you perform an Umrah, you're only wearing two white towels.
Yeah.
Nothing else, right? So, and Omar Sy was with us as well, the actor that plays Lupin. He was with us both years. And no matter who you are, there was footballers there. No matter who you are, bro, everyone there is just two towels.
Yeah.
Pure. Doesn't matter who you are, you're all here for a reason. And
So you just let go of the external world.
Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what fame you have, doesn't matter what you've achieved.
Yeah.
We're all Muslims praying to our Lord, wearing two white towels. Nothing underneath.
Yeah.
No boxers, swinging. Pause. Everything's swinging. But it doesn't matter because you're just there praying, and you're there asking for things. You're praying for health, you're praying for your family, you're praying for success, and you're praying for asking for forgiveness, and you're doing all that. And it's beautiful, man. Like, because before I went, of course, I'm a Muslim by name, but I wasn't super practicing.
Yeah.
You know, there's times where you get lost in, you know, your work and and the world and the joys the world brings you.
Yeah.
And you kind of stray away a little bit. You forget about.
Yeah.
So then that really pulled me back in, man. And
That's beautiful, man.
It was amazing, man. It's my favorite. It's the best place I've ever been to in the world. And people ask me, what's your best place you've been?
Yeah.
I always say there.
Wow.
And they're like, no, I mean holiday destination. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. South Africa. You know, but yeah, that was amazing. I love it.
Yeah, man. Like religion is it's community, right? Like
For sure.
I'm not a Muslim, but it's still for me to see from the external. That's beautiful to see. And one thing I like about,
man, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying.
Yeah, everyone's trying, man.
Yeah.
And I like what you said, how about, you know, you may have lost your way a little bit, like being caught up in the material world. Like in Hinduism, it's the same sort of thing, that you can choose to like disregard any teachings and the things that you're brought up to do, but you're free to come back at any time once like you've realized, damn, this is all facade.
Yeah.
You know? I love that you found that, man.
It's amazing.
And let's talk about Primo, man, and SDS. These are extensions of you. Like, we end up building things that are extensions of us, I feel like. And as your passion project, where do you see this going? I can see, because you've done the fashion shows, you know, or you've been to the fashion shows,
Yeah,
like
been to a
Milan
few.
Fashion Week
I'm
and
gonna
stuff.
do more. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna do more. Where do you see this going? Like, I feel like I've got an eye for aesthetic stuff and clothing and whatnot. And bro, off the bat, I feel like I told you that I feel like you've got something there.
Yeah.
Not like you need to hear it from me, but
bro, it feels great because you have a good eye as well. Like every time I've seen you, like the way you dress, everything's right. So hearing from you for me means a lot to me. It means a lot more to me than hearing from Bill Gates, who's wearing a white t-shirt and blue jeans. It doesn't matter someone's status.
thank you, bro.
It just means a lot. Yeah.
So where do you see it going? Where do you want to take it with Primo?
With Primo, it's an interesting one because I'm a content creator. So as soon as a content creator releases clothes, it's merch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. How do you detach from that?
So that was the first battle I had. The first battle was, this can't be seen as merch. So the first thing was the name, straight away make it nothing to do with merch, nothing to do with my name, nothing to do, because when you have merch, it dies when your career dies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's cool. Yeah, I can have
attached to it.
Yeah, I didn't want that anyways. So that's the first thing. The second thing was the actual clothing, the quality of the clothing, right? It's not merch level. The second people ordered it and they realized it, they're like, okay, this isn't merch.
Yeah, it's top.
The third thing is the prices go with the quality because obviously it's more expensive pieces.
Yeah.
So early on, I was getting a lot of hit by call outs like, oh, why is your stuff so much more expensive than Sidemen clothing?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Different
because they
level,
use
man. Different categories.
because it's merch and they use cheaper materials. This
Yeah.
isn't merch. We're aiming to do like actual high-end fashion, mix of streetwear and luxury menswear fashion. And it's a long-term project. It's something that I'm not in a rush for. It's something that I want to surpass me. It's something that I want to, have its own fashion shows, have its own stores around the world, franchise it. Something where I want to be 80 years old and Primo is one of the biggest brands in the world. And when I die, my family is running it, because the family-run business is myself and my cousin, and he actually does most of the work day to day because I have all these other commitments, but he does all the day-to-day stuff. So it's something that's just long-term, something that I want it to be around and attached for the rest of my life.
I love it, man. What was the transition like into business? Like, was it a new world for you? Understanding all the like back end of business and stuff. Like I said earlier, I went from business to content. All of this was new to me. You went the other way. Like, what was the switch like?
I feel like a brand new baby, man. Like, especially in the clothing world, the fashion industry is so different.
Yeah.
It's the first time I was selling products. It's the first time I'm asking for my audience's money.
Right.
Content's been free. I make content for free. Like videos are free. But it's the first time I'm like, hey, pay £80 for this hoodie. Like it's not easy. So there's a whole new strategy you're thinking of. Because I'm promoting, and it's like you you have a duty of care. You have to give them a good product, because once maybe you give them a bad service once, it's done. It's not like content where I upload a shit video. Okay, cool. They didn't spend any money. I just made them spend a bit of time.
Yeah.
That's it. But I upload 2-3 good videos in a row, I'm good now. If I sell them crap, for a lot of money for them in their eyes, they're never going to buy again. I've lost them forever. So it's a whole new business, a whole different outlook. You have to scratch everything and learn again. So it's
100.
like, I'm still learning. It's only been a couple of years, but yeah, it's so much to learn.
You have the student's mind, so I'm sure it's gonna thrive, man. And you're right. It's a matter of value exchange. Like, the value is a lot more, and to keep retention, you keep retention through viewers in a video, but customer retention is a bit different in business.
Different.
For them to come back.
It's so different.
Yeah. How have you managed that? What's the business model of Primo? Are you doing drops? Are you going to do like evergreen?
Yeah, right now it's drops, but we've started doing evergreen because now what we started doing was, now there's things stay on the site, because there's things that haven't sold in the past that we keep on the site. So whenever we have a new drop, it's cool, because if those sell out, damn, you missed it, but you can still get some other stuff on the site. But before we were doing just drops, where it was like, website's closed, it's open now, there's a drop. Website's closed. Now website's open forever, but whatever's in stock is just on the site.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool, because some things, you'll go on the site and it's like, things are out of stock, but you can see them on the site, but it just says out of stock. So you're like, oh, cool. One, it shows that the business is doing well, because they're like, oh, damn, man. I always go on the site and the things I want are out of stock. Let me just get this one out. I'll get a t-shirt because I want to wear Primo. But next time, I want to get there quick, because last time I went it was out of stock. So now the website stays open, and think whatever we have is just there for sale. So that's the current model, but it's always, we're always thinking of different techniques and stuff.
Because I've seen like Represent when they first started, they were drops, and then they transitioned into evergreen, and now obviously that's such a scale that they can do drops and evergreen. Cortez obviously drops. So yeah, it's interesting to see like how you're kind of navigating it. And SDS, man, like you got a live show next week. It's your second one, right?
Second one. First one was
it?
last year. I'm feeling every emotion. First one was last year. First one was small. I wanted to make it small on purpose. It was a small venue. It was a hall, about 250 people. It was great. It was a great night. This one is a lot more ambitious. Hackney Empire, like 1,200 people. The most beautiful theatre in London. It's like where they filmed Britain's Got Talent.
Wow.
You know, it's like 4 tiers. It looks it looks like a cathedral almost. It's so royal and amazing. But yeah, it's a very ambitious feat. So I'm excited. We've sold almost all the tickets, which is good. So the bums are going to be on seats, which is good. But now we've got to provide a good show. So I'm working every day from now till then to make sure everything's.
What's it like going from content like this? Because if we mess up, we can cut and go again. But when you're live, what's the?
It's different, but also the energy is so good. Yeah. Because you're in the room, and the thing is, you got to realize, people bought tickets. People came to see you. They came to see the show.
Yeah.
Already you're winning.
Yeah.
It's very hard to like fail them. You got to have you got to put on a really bad show to fail them, because they bought tickets. They're leaving the house. They're arranging travels just to come to the show.
Yeah.
So you're already in a good position. All you got to do now is just provide what they're expecting, you know, and that's the energy, the entertainment. Be silly on stage, give them a good night. Make sure they go home and think, wow, this is amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And hopefully we could do tours and do more.
I can definitely see you doing tours. Yeah.
But that's what I mean, we need sponsors and stuff for that, but soon come.
Soon. And quickly, I think we're running out of time, but
no worries.
I just want to touch on fame quickly. Like, it's a weird thing. I think fame's a weird thing. We've been at Nando's and people have come up to you like you're like mid-bite and they're asking for pictures and stuff. How do you think, first, how did you handle it when it first happened? And 2, what do you think of it in general? Like, because people feel like they know you, they've seen you, they've been in you're in their living rooms, but you don't really know them. So like, 1 is, how do you handle that energy interaction with them? And 2, like, what do you think of it in general?
Well, you asked when I first experienced it, it's the best thing in the world. When you first experience it, it's amazing. Yeah. You feel like the man, you're skipping on the way home. You know, you can't wait to tell your friends. And that was us, like because we started all similar time, we started together. I knew Chunks when he first got recognized. He knew me when I first got recognized. So we told each other straight away, you know? And it was the best thing ever. But yeah, I mean, how you deal with it, like you said, they know you so well because they watch your content. They spend hours and hours watching you and everything. And of course, when you meet them, to them, you're larger than life. Yeah. To them, you're like, whoa, you're actually in front of me. I can't believe it. I spent so much time. So you have to know that in your head and know this person is someone like, this is one of the people that I made the content for, you know? Like people have cried. Yeah. It's weird. To me, it's weird. Yeah. You know, but then you're just thinking at the same time, it's like, wow, I must have provided them entertainment for over a long time, or maybe even helped them for something or whatever it was.
You never know what they're like tuning in.
So no matter how bad of a day I'm having, no matter how, like whatever, it's straight away you go into a zone where you're nice. Yeah. You go into a zone where you try, and obviously there's times where I can't speak. I'm walking into a car or I'm walking in somewhere, but sometimes, I don't know, I might be waiting in the queue and someone just meets me. Of course, I'm not going to be rude. I can have a bit of a conversation.
No, I think you handled it well, like that time at Nando's. Yeah. Like you were like, can I just finish eating?
Yeah, if I'm eating, if you can wait till I'm finished, please, that'd be great. But
that was like honestly, a real indicator to me of like who you are as a person, how you are off camera as well. Yeah.
I mean, bro, at the end of the day, that might be the only time they ever meet you. Yeah. And if you give them a negative experience, that's it. They're done. They're never watching you again. And that's how it is. Yeah. And I know people personally that may have met celebrities from different fields, musicians or actors or TV stars or footballers or athletes, and they were rude to them. Yeah. And they don't stop talking about it till now. 3 years later, if that person's name comes up, that person's this.
100%.
And they'll never support them again. Or they'll never. So I don't want to be that guy where people are like, I met Sharky, he's a dick, so I'm not gonna watch it. And they'll never watch my videos again. Yeah. Ever. You know, and I've lost a loyal viewer, and all they wanted to people can get excited. People can sometimes say things because they're so comfortable. So they might say things that offend me, but they don't realize it's offending me because they're just comfortable with me. You know, they might make a joke or something. You know, there's times when I'm at Nando's and I'm looking bummy. They're like, people just because they're so comfortable, they're like, bro, I thought you had money. Why are you dressed like this?
That's crazy.
And in my head, I'm just laughing. I'm like, I'm a normal person like you. I'm just here to eat, right?
Yeah.
But some people don't know. That's social skills, you know. But apart from that, bro, I think you just gotta be nice. I think there's only been 1 or 2 times where I haven't been nice, and that's because the person deserved it. But
yeah, like my friend Radi, she told me something that stuck with me always was like, you can never like match their energy because you don't know them, but you can always recycle it back to them.
very, very, very true. That's so good.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's our time, man. I appreciate you coming on, and it's been a good conversation. Hopefully, the viewers see a different side to you. You know, they see that you are an intelligent guy, more creative, very creative, and yeah, I wish you all the best with all your endeavors, man. Like, hopefully, I should be here next week, so I might come down to the live show.
Please
It'll be good
message
to see.
me if you're around.
Yeah, I will do, man.
It'd be amazing.
But, yeah, all right, bro.
Keep
Pleasure.
doing your thing as well.
Thank you,
Keep
bro.
doing amazing work.
Love you. Thank you.
It's good.
Appreciate it.
I'm watching behind the scenes. I'm watching behind the shadows. I like it. So keep doing that. The conversations you're having are very important as well.
Thank you.
And even the ones that you're not having these conversations, the videos that you make, they're really good. They're really helpful, you know.
Thank you,
so
appreciate
keep
it.
doing that, bro. And the quality is gonna just show for itself. So
Appreciate it.
don't
Alright.
stop.
Oh, my bro. Appreciate
My
it.
guy. Nice one.
Game, set, match.